Hi, my name is Derek Yoon, and the article I am presenting today is from the Diplomat dated December 24th, 2016. And it's regards to South Korea's political, economic, and militaristic issues that it's facing that is impacting overall development. South Korea is inhabited by over 50 million people. Its trade between the US is well over $150 billion annually, and South Korea is ranked 11th in GDP world ranking at $1.4 trillion, and it's part of APEC, WTO, and G20. To talk about South Korea, you have to talk about the Korean War during the 1950s. Over 20 nations fought for over 4 years, with 178,000 soldiers died, and 2.5 million civilians were either killed or wounded during the war. The current president and the first democratically elected female president of South Korea, Park Geun-hye, who is the daughter of assassinated President Park Chung-hee, was recently impeached by her government for taking bribes and other illicit affairs while she was sitting president. President Park was impeached after weeks of protests by millions of South Korean citizens who were revolting against corruption, bribery, and scandal that marred the new president, duly influenced by money from large corporations. The main controversy stemmed from President Park's closest confidant, Choi Shin-si, who was reported to have taken bribes from Samsung and other large corporations for influence and favors from the government of President Park and other government officials. During the protests, a social media outlet monitors public sentiment real time and its effects on the Korean marketplace, and shows that public sentiment towards corporate scandal and its effects on the market were real time, and shows in the graphics below. The scandal broke in October 2016. The Kospi, which is South Korea's equivalent of the Dow Jones Industrial Average, really took a hit and has yet to recover. With political uncertainty in South Korea, North Korea took advantage of this time to flex its muscles within the world stage by testing short-range and long-range missiles and bolstering its nuclear capabilities around the world. The new Trump administration has pledged military and economic support for South Korea to fend off North Korea's advances in the Pacific region, and also to give stability to the uncertain political climate in South Korea. The most recent physical form of support the U.S. has provided is in the form of the THAAD missile, which is a anti-ballistic missile battery located around the Korean peninsula to ward off any advanced nuclear weapons from the north. Caught up in all this are Samsung, Kia, Hyundai, and other large corporations who depend on trade as their main source of income. South Korea depends over 50% of their GDP on exports. While South Korea depends 50% of its GDP on exports, other nations such as the US only depends on 18% of its GDP on exports. Relying so much on exports puts South Korea's economy in a very precarious place. South Korea must diversify its exports or reduce its dependence on exports as part of its national GDP if it is to stave off competition from China or economic downturn around the world. The future does not look very good for South Korea in its current trajectory. It must diversify its exports or change its economy to match that of the economic and political downturn that it is currently facing. Thank you.